I love Amazon.com. I buy all of my stuff there. Good evening, Jazriel. Good evening, Jaded Sapphire. Good to see you. Good evening, Marcus Agrippa 1. So, how is everybody tonight? I know there's a slight delay from the time I say something to the time you hear it. I do apologize for that. But I hope everybody is doing well. Marcus Agrippa 1, how are you this evening? It's good to see you here. I'm doing well. I'm doing very well. I'm doing very, very well, in fact. I'm doing very well. I don't want to get overly excited about it just yet, but I've met someone. I've met a female, so hopefully it will work out to be something really cool as time goes on. Yeah, I'm a bit biased in favor of Stuart and Janet Farrar as well. A lot of my witchcraft training came from their book, The Witch's Bible, so that was the basis for a lot of things. Oh, okay. I was wondering about So I have here a book that I'm going to read tonight. One of my students gave me this book, um, and so I haven't had a chance to read it yet, but I figured I'd start by reading it here. And it's a book called Indigo Adults by Kabir, Jaffe, and Ritma Davidson. So I figured I'd do some reading on that. It's the basis of it. It has to do with people who have like psychic gifts, I guess, and people who are like us. We're in touch with our own energy and stuff. Well, I guess we have we may have it. I don't know if I have it. Nobody's ever told me I have it, but apparently, certain people who are inclined that way, they have a color in their aura. All of them do, and it's indigo. So that's what this book is about. Apparently, there is such thing as indigo children that I think people have heard of, and this is just the adults. This is about the adults, apparently. So I will be reading from that tonight. Thank you for posting my link at Cero. I appreciate that. And hello to any of my viewers that I have in the YouTube live chat. I don't know if there's anybody in there just yet, but hello to you. And if at any time if anybody in my YouTube chat wants to go over to the other chat room, it's at witcheschatnetwork.com/chat HTML. Enter a nickname into the box and enter the chat. So that's that. So a big warm welcome, blessed be and merry meet to everybody. And I hope that hope all is well with everybody. Hey Jazriel, you left a name out in that list when you said History of Wicca. You left out a name. Oh no, you didn't. I'm sorry, you didn't. It's in there. I see it now. Alex and Maxine Sanders. It's there. Who's Veronica? Do we have a Veronica here? I guess we do. I didn't see her talking. Oh, I think... Okay. She appears to be new. I haven't seen her here before. Alright, so, hello, Nikki's Pagan Pad. Good to see you. Welcome to my YouTube channel. And welcome to my broadcast. Is this your first time coming to the broadcast? Are you a subscriber to my channel? I mean, I think you must be if you got the notice that, or you just happen to find me here. Oh, okay. Hi, Jaded. Yep, you're everywhere. You might even be behind me. Where? Ha ha ha. Just don't jump out and yell boo, okay? Not for real. I see you already said it. I wish I could improve the lag time between what I say and when you guys hear it. I wish I could improve that. I tried adjusting the I forget what it's called. Uh, yeah, bit rate. I tried to play around with the bit rate, but I don't know. Whenever I try to play around with that bit rate, it ends up getting worse, not better. So. Alright, so I'm going to start reading from this here book. Well, I'm going to read the back, and even though my magnifying glass, the print is real small. No, I think I'll just go ahead and start reading from here. Okay. Alright, so to begin the preface of the book. A new type of person is coming into incarnation right now, almost a next step as humanity progresses. These people hold great hope for the future, the promise of a new humanity and civilization. They carry different energies, paradigms, and ways of thinking and feeling. These new people are called indigo souls because clairvoyants notice that the color indigo is unusually prominent in their aura. Indigo is the color of the third eye. These souls have a high degree of activity in their third eye center. Though we could as easily have referred to these souls as the new souls, Aquarian souls, or other such names that are currently being used, we felt that indigo addressed the fundamental differences in their energetic and psychological makeup. In our work leading seminars on self-development around the world, we come across thousands of indigo souls. Most of them are already adults, but very few know they are indigo or understand their soul nature. Many are struggling because they are different. They frequently feel alone, separate, or misunderstood. They have a depth of feeling and thinking that differs from those around them. They have powerful internal forces of energy, intelligence, and feelings that they often don't understand and consequently find difficult to manage. They are unusually sensitive, making them more easily disturbed by things that don't bother others. They carry aspirations and visions that make them long for something more and be dissatisfied with the world as it is. They often feel limited and frustrated by what is considered the normal world. If this description speaks to you, then you are probably an indigo soul. This book contains the understandings and discoveries we have made as we wrestled with our nature as indigo adults, as well as through our work with others. We hope these materials will be as valuable to you as they have been to us, and will help you understand more clearly who you are, what you carry within you, and your purpose as an indigo soul here on Earth. The material for this book was developed by both of us and was then given as a series of 8 evening lectures by Kabir in Frankfurt, Germany over the spring and summer of 2003. The format was a lecture followed by questions and answers. Chapter 1 was a later edition and does not contain questions. In this edition for 2009, both by request from the publisher and to address the many questions coming to us from indigos about relationships, we have added a new chapter, Chapter 8, from a talk given by us both entitled Indigos in Love. This book starts with a short section on astrology. We realize that many readers may not be interested in or knowledgeable about astrology, and that some may be actively resistant to it. Bear with us for just a short while. We think it will be worth it. Our experience is that astrology brings an important key to understanding the indigo phenomenon. This book is rooted in our personal experience of these subtle dimensions of life and also reflects our explorations into the esoteric and mystic teachings of many traditions. This dimension is not so tangible to our normal analytic mind, nor has it been documented by scientific proof. Take what we are presenting as a Take what we are presenting as a hypothesis. Experiment with it and come to your own conclusions. I'm sorry, I was tripping over my words there for a minute. So, just from the preface there is very interesting, and I think this proves to be a very fascinating book. Oh yeah, thank you for the idea, Pimp, and maybe I should do that myself because I can post the link, so I will do it. There we go. So yes, this promises to be a very interesting read. Okay, so who are indigo souls? What are indigo souls? Why is the indigo phenomenon happening? To understand indigo souls, it is helpful to know a little about astrological cycles, the bigger picture of unfolding time. We are all intimately familiar with astrology, the rhythms of day and night, and the cycle of the seasons, the phases of life created by the movement of the celestial bodies. The seasons particularly exemplify the essence of astrological growth, flowering, decay, and quiescence. This seasonal cycle is broken down into 12 phases of development, with each phase being represented as one of the zodiacal signs. The cycle starts with the sign Aries, the first day of spring, representing beginnings, birth, and emergence. The cycle then progresses around the zodiac through Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, and so forth to end with the sign of Pisces, representing ending, completion, and return. There is an even larger cycle at work than the yearly seasonal cycle called the Great Year. It is formed by the precession of the equinoxes and creates a cycle of 25,920 years. Because of complex celestial mechanics, the first day of spring, the spring equinox, slowly moves backward, precession, around the zodiac by one astrological sign every 2160 years. This 2160-year period we call an age, the age of Pisces, the age of Aquarius, and so forth. About 2,000 years ago, the first day of spring was aligned with the meeting point of Aries and Pisces. This meeting point is called the cusp. This is an approximate beginning point. The exact degree of the beginnings of the signs is not known. The cusp period lasts a couple hundred years. Since then, the first day of spring has been moving backward through the sign of Pisces. It is for this reason that the past 2,000 years is referred to as the Piscean Age. Why is this important? The best analogy is to imagine the signs of the zodiac as celestial lenses, with each lens having a particular coloring. When the Earth is aligned with a particular lens, for example Pisces, then the energies of Pisces flow into the Earth's sphere. To help understand how these energy streams affect the Earth, think of the full moon. When we are under a full moon, it affects the waters of the planet and we have our highest tides. The full moon affects us personally too. Sometimes we can't sleep well or our emotions are stimulated. In a similar way, the energies of an astrological age influence our planet and our psyches. Each age creates its own mood. It brings to the foreground certain archetypal images, beliefs, and paradigms, and stimulates certain chakras within the human energy field with their corresponding thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. The energies of an age are an immensely powerful force, shaping our lives in countless ways. The psychology of the peoples of that age, the form of religion and spirituality, the structure of society, and the very fabric of civilization. Let's look at some examples. The Aryan Age, the age that came before Pisces approximately 2160 BC, was characterized by the sign Aries, the ram, and the planet Mars. Aries carries the energies of assertion, initiation, expansion, will, and war. It is associated with and stimulates some of the qualities of the first or base chakra, aggression, and some of the qualities of the third or solar plexus chakra, domination, power, and conquest. The word chakra comes from Sanskrit and is used to refer to one of the 7 energy centers within the human energy system. We will use both chakra and center throughout the book to describe these energetic vortexes. The Aryan Age was an age of empire, war, and expansion. It was dominated by Mars, the god of war, and the symbol for male virility. The energies of an age are exemplified in its symbols and myths. Some of the gods of the Aryan Age were the warlike Marduk of Babylon and the wrathful Yahweh of the Old Testament. The development of the Roman kingdom, 753 BC, exemplifies the energies of this period. We are most familiar with the Piscean energies of the last 2,000 years, as our current civilization and psyche are still so highly influenced by them. The birth of Christianity is the event that ushered in the Piscean Age and has colored this past 2,000 years. The symbol of the sign Pisces is the fish. The 2 tails of the fish were the early symbol of Christianity, and the Christ, suffering for humanity on the cross, is a powerful symbol of the Piscean themes of sacrifice, suffering, redemption, and transcendence. Pisces is a water sign. Water is the element of feelings and emotions. Pisces is connected to religion and spirituality, operating through the 7th or crown chakra, the basic emotions connected to family and to our inner child, the 2nd or sacral chakra, and the heart connected with love and compassion, the 4th or heart chakra. The result of the Piscean influence has been to turn the focus of humanity toward love, spirituality, and the other world in an emotional and innocent or childlike way. The influence of Pisces has been a major step on the evolutionary journey of humanity. It began to shift the energies from the warlike mode of the Aryan Age toward love and forgivingness, as exemplified by Jesus and his teachings. It has changed the old mode of eye for an eye to a new understanding of turning the other cheek and loving your neighbor as you would love yourself. The emotional nature of Pisces has created an emotional, devotional approach to spirit. It has emphasized feeling-based communion and the attitudes of belief and faith rather than understanding. It is a sign of service and sacrifice, and of compassion and forgivingness, keynotes of the Christian era. But Pisces is also a sign of self-denial and personal condemnation, in which suffering is seen as a way to cleanse our soul, and our personal joy in this life should be sacrificed for eternal happiness in the afterworld. The energies of Aquarius. At this moment, we are in the meeting point of Pisces and Aquarius. The energies of Aquarius are starting to penetrate the earth. Although they are beginning to be felt, it is only a beginning, and the Piscean energies are still the dominant note. This is for 2 reasons. First, we still exist in the Piscean structure of civilization, which has been built over the last 2,000 years, and second, the Piscean energies, though waning, are still flowing onto the earth. At the same time, we have a steadily increasing inflow of energies from Aquarius, bringing new paradigms, ways of thought, feelings, and behaviors. The cusp is a transition between the old and the new. 2 ages are meeting. Both energies are present. It is a dynamic and exciting time. What is Aquarius beginning? Some of its keynotes are freedom, progressiveness, individuality, intellectual understanding, and group consciousness. We first began to feel these Aquarian energies on the planet when the spring equinox entered the cusp between Pisces and Aquarius, roughly in the 1700s. Every age begins with 1 or more keynote events that strike the chord of the themes and energies for that age. The formation of the United States, with its constitutional basis of freedom of speech and religion, and its structure of many individual states joined together in a common union, is one of the powerful symbols for the themes of this coming age. Aquarius is an air sign. Air is the element of the mind. Aquarius works primarily through the 3rd eye, the 6th chakra, at the center of the forehead. This chakra has to do with 2 levels of our intelligence, the analytic mind and the intuition. The increased stimulation of the third eye through the incoming Aquarius energies is awakening in humanity a new level of mental activity, understanding, and intuition into the subtle worlds. This opening of the third eye is one of the main underlying causes of the many developments we have seen in society over the last couple of centuries. Let us emphasize this point. Imagine that the energies of an age come in and stimulate specific centers in the human psyche. The activity of these centers create a new level of thought and behavior that then externalizes as culture and civilization. An age emerges from inside of us and then gets expressed outward. The Industrial Revolution, then the discovery of electricity. Electricity is ruled by the sign of Aquarius, and now the emergence of the Information Age are the result of the new capacities of intelligent thought that are emerging through our third eye. This stimulation of the third eye and the mind creates a fundamentally different psychology in the Aquarian person, a psychology based upon an increased activity of the mind. We have a new level of intellectual activity, and one of its most potent manifestations is our desire to understand. Our minds are questing. We want to know. The average person in the first world can read and write, uses a computer, and lives in a world of technological and scientific marvels. We approach life not only with feeling, but also with the mind. We don't believe because someone tells us to. We want information, facts, reasons, and proof. And we want the freedom to make our own informed decisions. And reading this, I couldn't help but think, that we're coming into this age the way that we are. It goes a long way toward explaining why at least some Christian groups are acting the way they are, and they're so vehemently, I keep mispronouncing that word, they are so vehemently trying to stamp us out, in any way they can. They can't kill us physically, they're going to try and destroy us socially, and publicly, and this is an age where man is awakening unto his own self. This is our time. If you think about it, this is our time to shine. I want to talk about this a little bit. We're coming into this new age where the third eye is opening up, and we're coming out and seeing things in a different light, and now we can truly explore into the reaches of our own self. We begin to realize, as our third eye opens up more and more, we begin to realize more and more that those answers of ourselves and everything around us, those answers were there the whole time. They're right within us, programmed in our souls. They're already there. That information is already there. The Creator created us, programmed that information so that at a certain development, at a certain time, when our psyche's reached a certain stage of development, we would begin to tap into that knowledge that is in our souls, and we would know. We would awaken unto ourselves, and that is what is happening now. And I think that's so cool. Just talking about it, it's just really exciting because we in Wicca, we teach people. We teach people so much to open up, to understand who you are. To go within for the answers and information that you need about yourself. And this book, as I'm reading it, I'm finding out that the way that they believe it's so close to how we believe in terms of finding out things that are of the other world, the unseen world, everything that's out there that we don't observe or experience through our normal five senses because it's part of a spiritual world, and it's just so exciting to know that this is the time. This is the time, and this is so important now that for people like myself, teachers, even you, Marcus Agrippa One, you're a teacher too, I know. So for us, this is just a really exciting time, and this is when we really try to um, bring that information out, try to teach our students to that this awakening is a very exciting time, and we try very hard to let them know that there's no reason to fear it. Just because you awaken unto yourself, that is you. It's all about you. There's no need to fear who you are. No need to feel ashamed of who you are either. You know, you learn about things through this whole process. And you also learn about things like humility. Being humble about who you are, and there's no need to feel ashamed or fear God. All of these things that mankind has been programmed with for so long. Now, in this day and age, and with this new age coming in, now, especially for us of the Wicca, our students, we all can begin to understand more and more clearly that this is our time to shine. And we no longer have to settle underneath this whole programming that has been going on for the last 2,000 years. The whole what was it, Aryan Age or Piscean? But we're coming out of that. We're in the Aryan Age, coming out of the Aryan Age to the Aquarian Age. But that's and that song comes to mind, the Age of Aquarius. This is the Age of Aquarius. This is just, it's really exciting, and I can't talk about it enough. I can't say enough about it. This is what we're about. This is what we try to teach people. Awaken unto yourselves, rise up beyond that programming. It's time to awaken. We don't need to sleep anymore. We don't. We don't need to sleep underneath that programming that we've had. Thank you. It is Piscean. Okay. Thank you. I got a little confused there, but this is our time, though. This is where we can really awaken unto ourselves. And what did they also said something about group consciousness. Yeah, group consciousness. That was something else that they said that they talked about. That is something that is formed in the covenants. We form a group consciousness, a group mind. We do not lose our individuality. We enhance it. It's becoming enhanced. Transhumanism? What is this? What did you say, Jezreel, about transhumanism? Belief or theory that the human race can evolve beyond its current physical and mental limitations, especially by means of science and technology. Okay. Well, yeah, you know why? Because that is a combination of two words there. Transcendence and human, or humanism, transhumanism. Yes, we're learning to transcend. We are learning how to become more than what we are. That's what it's all about down here. We're not down here to feel ashamed for what we are. We're not down here to feel regret and remorse forever for the death of Christ. That's not what we're here for. And that's fine for the people who follow that path and that faith. If they want to believe that, I'm not going to judge them. But that's not what we're here for. We follow this path and walk this path. We have a philosophy that works for us. And this is what it is. This transhumanism concept that, thank you for introducing that, Jezreel. I'm going to remember that word. But that's what it's about. We are here, we believe, we are living successive lifetimes, right? We learn certain set lifetimes are there. We learn certain lessons in any one lifetime. And then we determine in between, when the physical body dies, we go to Summerland, we evaluate ourselves, we evaluate the lessons we've learned Do we need to learn others? We keep coming back. We're becoming more. Each time we come back, we learn more stuff. And we're becoming more than what we are down here. You know, until one day, we don't have to keep coming back to the physical plane. We can evolve to a state of pure consciousness, pure spiritual consciousness. You know, and I tell you, that's very exciting for me. I really love talking about this. That really excites me to think about that. You know, and it's just wonderful. You know, and I know from my own teachings that I've done this before. You know, I don't have any specific memories, but I don't need to because I have faith. You know, I've done this before, and I hope, and I am pretty certain that I was probably very excited about it in another life. But here I am talking about it again and teaching it again as I did it before. You know, and it's a wonderful feeling to know that all of this stuff that I'm doing is adding into my own consciousness and helping my own consciousness to evolve and to become greater than it is, you know. And that's it's really wonderful. I didn't want to get too far away from the reading. Did anybody have, before I continue reading a bit more, does anybody have any comments on what I've read so far, or on what I've talked about? Hello, hellbound heathen. It's good to see you here. I'm glad that you made it. And hello to Temperance R. Thank you for coming to my YouTube chat and to my YouTube channel. And if this is your first time here, I welcome you. I see you saying you finally caught the live feed from the beginning. So you've tried to catch it before from the beginning and you never did. So, but welcome. I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad for everybody. I'm happy for everybody. I'm happy that you're all here to hear what I've, had to say, and from the book that I've been reading, and again, it's an exciting time for me, because I can take what I've learned, take my experience and knowledge, and I can pass it on, as I'm supposed to do. I'm doing what I feel I'm supposed to do. So. Alright, so they were saying, okay, the freedom to make our own informed decisions. This capacity of intelligence is not the only capacity that is unfolding through the third eye. The third eye has two aspects, referred to as petals. The lower petal holds the analytical mind, which is with its faculty of intelligent thought and reasoning. It is this petal that is responsible for the qualities of intelligence mentioned previously. The upper petal holds what is commonly called the intuition. We use the word intuition in a particular way. It refers to another sense apparatus that gives us the ability to tune to a subtle world of energy, thought, and feeling. Most of us are familiar with the use of the word intuition in a more down-to-earth sense, like a mother's intuition. But there is another level as well. We are speaking here of a type of intuition that is connected to a higher knowing, to a spiritual type of knowledge. This type of intuition perceives in terms of larger gestalts and interrelationships that exist within and around us. It's connected to a higher mental capacity that has to do with beingness and the soul. It's from here that insight comes, often as an unexpected flash of clarity or illumination, and from here that genius draws its inspiration. Another facet of this intuitive capacity is the ability to self-reflect. It is through the upper petal of the third eye that we can examine our own thoughts and feelings. This may not sound like much. Anyone can easily say, of course I can examine my own thoughts and feelings. I know when I'm angry, sad, or happy. What's the big deal? But this is something more. It's the ability to look deeper into our feelings, to sense the subtle nuances, and to understand our deeper psychological motivations. We can trace what appears to be a momentary feeling back in time to our past, to our childhood upbringing, perhaps even further. We can see how this feeling or pattern may have been passed down to us from our grandparents or our great-grandparents, or perhaps even from previous incarnations. This ability to self-reflect at these depths is a new type of thinking that has only recently emerged on a widespread level. Its emergence within our psyche has given birth to the field of psychology and to the widespread interest in self-development. Another aspect of the upper petal is the need to find higher meaning and significance. We live for values and purpose. We have a sophisticated worldview, a that's a German word. Weltans, I can't pronounce it, it's a German word, in which we perceive our interrelationship with the larger whole, and we seek to find our place and make our contribution. We begin to recognize that there is a great interweaving of life, that we are not separate individuals, but are rather part of an interwoven fabric of energy. We see that each part is related to every other part, and that everything affects everything else. It is the inflowing energies of Aquarius and their stimulation of the upper petal of the third eye that is one of the primary forces creating what is commonly called the New Age movement. If you think about it, the New Age movement is the reflection of our emerging capacity to look more deeply at ourselves, our desires to know who we really are, our explorations into the subtle forces of psychology, energy, the soul, and spirit, and our awareness of interrelationship with the larger whole. The Indigo Soul Group. Each astrological age brings in not only the energies of that sign, which then play upon the planet, but it also brings in a specific group of souls. What this means is that there are different soul groups, and each group is aligned or associated with a particular sign. There was a soul group that was part of the Piscean Age and carried the Piscean energy. This was the group that was primarily in incarnation during the Piscean Age. Now, as the Aquarian Age comes in, we have the Aquarian energies playing upon the planet and the Aquarian soul group coming into incarnation. The Aquarian soul group that is incarnating now has significant differences from the Piscean soul group. They have different activities in their chakras with the resultant differences in psychology, thought, feeling, and behavior. These souls first began to incarnate in the 1700s. At that time, there was only a trickle of them. They incarnated into a Piscean culture and civilization, carrying new ideas and energies that were very different than what was then the norm. In a sense, these individuals seeded the Piscean culture with the Aquarian energies. They were the first faint green shoots of what, over centuries, will grow into full bloom. Well, technically, she was asking how much longer. Yeah, probably, I would say, yeah. Technically, it's about 11 minutes left, but I'm not going to really hold to that because I've gotten kind of into this book. But, I mean, I really do want to read it some more. This is really interesting stuff. My lower back hates me though because I'm sitting here and it's hurting a lot, but I'm trying to push my way through it, push through that, push through the pain, so to speak. Alright, so we stand today between two ages. This brings us to where we are today. We exist in the cusp between the two ages. On the one hand, we have the Piscean Age, which has externalized and crystallized an entire civilization with its intuitions, institutions, religions, organizations, cultures, and ways of being. And on the other hand, we have the incoming Aquarian energies and the corresponding soul group, what we are calling Indigo, coming into incarnation in greater and greater numbers and gradually unfolding what will in time become the next culture and civilization. So we have two radically different forces at work today: an established age with a crystallized planetary culture that is in decline, and a new and very small minority of people and ideas that are the first seeds of what will become the new age, next age. An interesting moment to be alive, and a very interesting moment if you are an indigo soul carrying the new energies. You know, I like to think that I am an indigo soul because everything I'm reading here, you know, and in the preface too, when they were describing what an indigo soul might feel like, I fit that almost to a T. The whole description, you know, I think I'm one of those, you know, and I think doing what I'm doing here, I'm helping to bring in that energy of the new age, you know, the Aquarian age. I'm right at the what's the word I'm looking for? I'm right there in the fray, I guess. I don't. That's not the right word, but I'm right there. I'm right here, doing what I feel I am meant to do, and that is to pass on my knowledge and experience to the new age. You know, and that gives me excitement, really. That really gives me a warm fuzzy to know that that's what I'm doing. That's what I've been doing for almost 7 years now. I can't believe it when I say that. 7 years I have been doing this broadcast. You know, carrying on and passing on my knowledge and experience. And there's been many of you who have attended my broadcasts from way back. And you guys are wonderful because we have both, I like to think, we have both grown and evolved in that time. We've watched each other grow and evolve, and I you know, and it's really exciting. It's kind of cool. It almost gives me goosebumps thinking about it. And I want to do what I can. You know, I want to do everything I can. I want to be everything that I can in this new age that's developing. I want to use what I've been given. You know, I've been given a lot of tools. I've been given a lot of knowledge. You know, sure, as humans go, you know, as human beings go, we all have strengths and weaknesses. I'm not perfect. Nobody's perfect. You know, I have my character flaws. You know, I make mistakes in life, you know, but I am always trying to do what I can and you know, to develop my soul, you know, to maintain my faith and my spirituality. I think that's the biggest thing for me. Maintaining my faith, you know, even if I'm not in any particular moment, if I'm not in a discussion with anybody that's a spiritual discussion, you know, I still try in the back of my mind, I'm still trying to think about it at least, you know, acknowledge it and honor the spirituality that I've chosen, or maybe that's chosen me. But I'm so thankful and fortunate to be where I am. And spiritually, I can thank my higher power, thank my Lord and Lady for being where I am, and for having what I have, and the tools they've given me, and the honor they've given me. You know, it's a great honor to me to be able to hold these broadcasts week after week after week. It's an honor and a privilege to come here before you guys and present myself, present my knowledge and experience. And my hope is that I would help people to better understand themselves, you know, or maybe help them, even especially new people, you know, new people that don't really know anything about this sort of stuff. maybe it will. I can inspire them to want to find out more, and they'll go searching on their own for more information. You know. My back is very, very uncomfortable right now. Anybody with any comments would like to say anything? I feel like, I don't want to hog the floor. I've done quite a bit of reading already, several pages. I don't want to hog the floor. I want to be able to give a few minutes anyway for anybody who has any comments they want to make regarding this subject. And this is, I'm going to continue to read this book. I'm going to come back, next week, and I'm going to be reading some more of it. And maybe I'll do some reading in between so I can, share what I've learned. This is, it's such a wonderful time for me. I know I sound like a broken record, but it really is a wonderful time for me to be alive and to do what I'm doing. It's just, I can't believe 10 years ago, is it 11 now? Yeah, 11 years ago now, I almost ended my life. I really did. 11 years ago it was a horrible time for me. Horrible, the most horrible period of my life. 11 years ago, I nearly took my own life. And I've been able to come back from that. I was able to survive, thanks to the grace of my Lord and Lady who wanted to keep me here because I had a job to do. I had a mission and a purpose. And it was their will that kept me here, kept me alive. After swallowing all those pills I swallowed to try and do myself in, I just really, I can't thank them enough. And, I'm humbled to be here today. I really am. This is, and I'm glad that things worked the way they did so that I can be here and share my life with you guys. Share what I know, share my knowledge and experience, and pass it on. And then things have developed off the internet recently too. Some very interesting developments have happened recently. Yes, I did see that. Yes, but it's balance and counterbalance. That's the way I see that. Balance, counterbalance. Everything has a balance and a counterbalance. That's the way I look at it. Things balance each other out. One is this way, one's the other way. They interact with each other and they balance out things. Drastically different events and outcomes, of course. Oh, I just got an update message from AdBlock. AdBlock's been updated. Anyway, yeah. Uranus and Saturn, two energies flow and interact with each other. Yes, I did see that. Two ruling planets with opposite effect. Wow. They couldn't be the same. This, it'd be like trying to push two magnets together, I would think, right? Or something. I don't know. I think that I understand what you were getting at. Again, it's a balance and counterbalance, really. I'm trying to reason and understand your point. Is it a negative thing? It's not necessarily a negative thing, right? I mean, it doesn't have to be. It could be, but it doesn't have to be. See, that is why I think the importance of awakening unto yourself, because once you awaken unto yourself, you know about this, the two ruling planets that were given here that you're talking about. This I'm using this as an example. That's why it's important you awaken unto yourself, because you know now about these different outcomes and events of these two ruling planets, and now we can work with them because we understand ourselves better. We understand how this is going to affect us. Rather than if we were not awakened unto ourselves and it was just happening randomly, we wouldn't have a clue what was going on. But because we do work to awaken unto ourselves and be self-aware, this is the result. We know why these things are happening, why the drastic outcomes and different events, why they happen the way they happen. And that's why it's so utterly important in the Wicca that we impress upon our students. You need to awaken unto yourself and become self-aware. And of course, it's not like we're throwing it in their face and forcing it on them. No, we do it in our teaching. We do it in subtle ways they wake up in a manner that is comfortable for them. Each person is different in that respect. Some would take longer to awaken than others, but that is the ultimate. That ultimate aim is to awaken them. That's what the first degree is all about. It is teaching them to awaken unto themselves. That self-awareness. That's what the first degree is all about. The effect of the Aquarian way has the potential to manifest in either way. The self-awakening and working to form a group consciousness like we have both found in a coven. We tend to tip the balances in the direction of Uranian energy. Right. Hi, Nikki's Pagan Pad. Yes, I'm doing very well in my life right now. Even with the aches and pains I have in my lower back doing what it's doing right now, which is very uncomfortable. But those things notwithstanding, I'm doing very well. And I couldn't be happier right now. I'm trying to see if I can work it with having someone on the broadcast very soon. I would like it to be next week, but I can't promise that. But I'm looking to bring someone onto the broadcast with me. Duke of Pearl Diving. That's an interesting username. So it's a very interesting concept, this Indigo Soul group. And again, I'll be reading some more of that next week. I should have worn I do have a back support. I've got a back support brace. One of those so-called pain relieving braces that you see advertised on TV. I do have one. I got a knee brace too. So, does anyone have any comments, questions, or comments for me? The floor is open at the moment. Oh, lunar eclipse. To tell you the truth, I didn't know there was one. I think I was reading something the other day. I thought it was a solar eclipse. But when is there a lunar eclipse? I mean, I don't have any glasses for it. I don't like having this in my show, my video. Do I have any what? Pets? Are you asking me if I have any pets, Tiff Brown? I don't have any pets. No, I don't. Oh, okay. The lunar. Oh, we even had a lunar eclipse, huh? Yeah, Imp. What is up with you, Imp? Uh, yeah, no, I don't have any pets, Tiff. No, I don't have any special workings for that. Um, no, I didn't have anything planned. I tell you the truth, I wasn't completely aware of there being the eclipse. Although I remember reading something about it, but it didn't stick in my mind. All right, guys. I think I'm going to end for this week because I'm very uncomfortable and I need to. Yeah, I'm gonna call it a night myself. Good night, Marcus Script One. Blessed be to you, and I will see you next week. So good luck with everything you are doing. And everybody else, I'm out of here for this week. I will see you all next Tuesday night, the same time and place. And as I said, I will continue reading from the book Indigo Adults because it's very interesting. I'm very interested in it. So we'll do that. So until then, I just want to wish everybody safe journeys, whatever you're doing. Blessed be and merry part. And may the light and love of the Lord and Lady shine upon your paths wherever they take you. And have a good night.